Our region's business is sponsored by PNC Bank. Solutions that help you achieve your goals in life. PNC, leading the way. And by Heffron Tillotson, a history of meticulous wealth management since 1948. Our region's business. Innovation, transformation, momentum. Improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, the man behind Rita's, an entrepreneurial success story, plus celebrating Pop City by taking wing to Paris. But first, TradeRoots. It's a new initiative of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce designed to encourage, as you might expect, trade. John Kosar is Chairman Emeritus of Burt Hill. Leslie Schweitzer is Senior Trade Advisor for TradeRoots, and Vincent Thomas is Vice President International for Vivisimo. And welcome. Good to see all three of you here.
Thank you.
Leslie, I'll start with you. You know, the U.S. Chamber's been around for a long time. Trade's been around for a long time. But why this major push in raising awareness of the importance of trade right now?
Well, we're focusing on Pennsylvania on this multi-year private sector program because we're facing some challenges out there. A lot of people don't understand the significance of international business, particularly for small and medium-sized companies. And Pennsylvania is a huge beneficiary of international trade. Yet there's a lot of people out there right now that are talking in isolationist terms that are sort of similar to those that were discussed in the 1930s. And we know how successful that was. So it's time to change the way we talk about trade, to talk about it as an international economic development, and particularly for small and medium-sized companies.
Rolling this out nationally started in Pennsylvania and Ohio. Any reason for the choice of the states?
Well, TradeRoots has been a division of the U.S. Chamber for about 9 years, and it's a sustained local grassroots trade education program. And we've focused a great deal on states throughout the United States, and we just haven't done enough in Ohio and Pennsylvania. And these are two states that really need, I think, a change in the way they think about themselves as manufacturers, as big players in the global marketplace.
Now, you talk about small, mid-sized companies and even service companies involved in trade. John, I'm not sure, you know, people would think of Burt Hill, which is kind of architecture, engineering, and design, as being a player in trade at all.
Well, it's been interesting, Bill. Our firm, which was started in 1936, has always developed as an entrepreneurial firm. And we grew from a single office with 6 people to a firm now where we have 12 offices and just shy of 1,000 people.
Started in Butler County, Pennsylvania.
Absolutely,
right?
30 miles north of here. And we had a few opportunities in Saudi Arabia. We did a couple projects in Dubai. And then in 2004, we decided to open an office, be on the ground there. And within a couple years, we doubled the size of our firm. We were about 350, 400 people, and we doubled it to over 800 people. Of course, it was great because it allowed us opportunities for our people to grow. It gave us access to a new market, large projects, things that we hadn't done before. It created knowledge pass-through from the countries to here. We were able to increase staff in Pittsburgh to accommodate that. The people grew, the revenue grew, and you know, it's nice to have brought people into Pittsburgh instead of hearing about people leaving Pittsburgh all the time. So that was a very positive effect, and the results that occurred there have gotten us to a point where we're ranked within the top 40 largest firms in the world.
Unbelievable. What a great story. Vivisimo is a younger story, right? You're in the search business, right?
That's correct. Our mission is to help organizations to maximize the business value of their information through search and discovery technology. And so, you know, in this age where we're all used to text messaging and microblogging, we want information immediately, and that's easy enough to do on the web, but it's very difficult to do in a corporate environment. And so we help companies through a single search box to search out across all of their mission-critical data repositories and to bring back that information and to be able to search in a very intuitive and easy-to-understand fashion.
It's a smaller company in Pittsburgh's Squirrel Hill neighborhood. That's home base, but what, with a reach now that's increasingly global?
Indeed. We hired our first employee about 4 years ago. And I'm happy to say that we're now present with customers in 5 different continents, and international business accounts for over 20% of our sales. So it's certainly an important component to our business.
So and becomes a real growth engine then, and actually creates jobs here as well as over there?
That's absolutely right. We have a network of partners as well that we work with around the world, and indeed we have one partner based in Japan, and the only thing they do is sell Vivisimo technology. So we're creating jobs locally and around the world.
Really exciting. I guess you must hear the story again and again.
Well, it's the story that we want to tell, and this is exactly the message that we want to send out to Pennsylvania businesses and farmers and workers and families, that this is a very important part of the growth for this state. As we've been traveling throughout the state this week, we're hearing these stories all over the state, but frankly, they just aren't being communicated well enough. So that we will make our point by telling these anecdotal stories.
Well,
and in your case, services have a surplus in our trade deficit. There is no deficit with services, so it is a very important component of what Pennsylvania is shipping around the world.
well, and I'm sure a lot of Pennsylvanians don't even realize it.
Now, the interesting thing when you talk about services is how much a demand there is internationally. They want the knowledge, they want the creativity that we're able to bring to those countries. And it sets us aside from the locals, although there's a lot of local talented people that we've partnered with, very knowledgeable, very skilled, but again, they look for our management abilities, our abilities to keep things organized, and with the combination, too, it's been very successful for us.
And the secrets for a small up-and-coming company like Vivisimo to crack those kinds of international markets, how'd you make it happen?
Through a lot of hard work, through a lot of dedication, and through superior technology. So at the end of the day, our customers around the world really all face the same types of problems. There'll be wrinkles in terms of local culture, in our case, because it's a search technology, local languages. So one of our first projects was with Canon, the electronics manufacturer, and of course they immediately wanted support for Thai and Chinese and other languages, which are quite difficult because there's no spaces in those languages, so when you are processing them, they're challenging. But we've been able to, through the fantastic technology that originated here in Pittsburgh at Carnegie Mellon University, we've been able to overcome those challenges and to bring world-class technology to world-class corporations such as Procter & Gamble and Airbus and other companies that are using our technology exclusively around their enterprise.
What a great story, Leslie. I assume there's a lot more information about trade and TradeRoots and its value. There's got to be a website somewhere.
There is, www.traderoots.org. And we'll be linking to websites all throughout the state of Pennsylvania with our chamber network, the economic development offices. This is a partnership, and we're just leading the charge, but it will be up to Pennsylvania businesses to really listen and hopefully heed the advice that they need to reach beyond the borders of Ohio and Indiana as trading partners and get out of the borders of the United States.
All right, and tell their own stories, too.
Absolutely.
All right. Congratulations to all three of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah. Next up, Pop City takes wing. Stay with us.